Imagine a world where a single drop of liquid could kill you in minutes, or where eating what seems like a delicious meal could hide a toxin so deadly it could end your life without you even realizing it. Poisons are all around us, both natural and man-made, and they've played a crucial role in human history. From being tools of assassination to solutions for pest control and even medical treatments. In this video, we're going to dive deep into the most dangerous poisons ever discovered. From ancient times to the modern day, these substances have claimed countless lives and left a lasting mark on history. Before we jump into the details, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on our latest content. Ready? Let's get started. In 2015, 19 inmates at New York's infamous Rikers Island prison discovered something alarming in their meals: blue and green pellets embedded in their meatloaf. Imagine the shock and horror of finding such unusual things in your food. It wasn't just the sight that unsettled the prisoners. Many of them started to feel physically unwell. Understandably, they were convinced that they had been poisoned with some kind of chemical. Samples of the meatloaf were sent off for analysis, and the results revealed the presence of Brodifacoum, a highly toxic substance. But what exactly is Brodifacoum, and how did it end up in their food? Before we dig into that, let me tell you about another bizarre case. In a separate report, a woman deliberately ingested a staggering 1.2 kilograms, about 3.3 pounds, of rat bait. The bait contained 75 milligrams of Brodifacoum, an amount far above the lethal dose for a human being. After she received medical attention, which included standard treatment protocols, she made a full recovery. It seems miraculous, given how deadly this substance is. And yet, another troubling case involves a 17-year-old boy who was hospitalized after suffering from a severe blood coagulation disorder. It was discovered that he had been smoking marijuana that had been laced with Brodifacoum. This potent rodenticide, once ingested or inhaled, disrupts the body's ability to clot blood, leading to potentially life-threatening internal bleeding. Although he was treated with vitamin K, a critical antidote for Brodifacoum poisoning, his symptoms persisted for months, highlighting just how dangerous and long-lasting the effects of this chemical can be. All these cases have one thing in common: the presence of Brodifacoum, a powerful anticoagulant developed in the United Kingdom in 1977 to combat rodent infestations. Initially designed to kill rats, this poison is now used in pest control measures against not only mice, but also larger animals like possums. Its widespread use is due to two key features. First, it's highly palatable to rodents, meaning they find it very appealing to consume. Second, and more importantly, it's lethal even after a single ingestion. Rodents don't need to consume it multiple times for it to take effect. Once is enough. The British authorities used these characteristics when they faced an overwhelming infestation of rats on South Georgia Island, located in the remote southern Atlantic. The island had become overrun with Norwegian rats, Rattus norvegicus, which were inadvertently brought to the island by sailors, including the famous explorer Captain James Cook in the 18th century. These rats thrived on the island, where there were no natural predators. The abundance of birds on the island provided ample food for the rats, as they fed on chicks and bird eggs. The situation reached a critical point in the 21st century. The government of South Georgia resorted to an unexpected and bold plan. They hired helicopters to drop Brodifacoum rodenticide over every square meter of the island, covering an area of over 4,000 square kilometers, 1,540 square miles. This operation lasted several years, but ultimately resulted in the complete eradication of the rats. With the rats gone, the bird population, which had declined by 90% due to the predation, began to recover. However, the battle wasn't over just yet. In 2016, a single rat footprint was discovered on the island. In response, the entire area was re-poisoned with Brodifacoum, and since then, no further traces of rats have been found. This operation is considered one of the most successful pest eradication programs in history, allowing the native bird populations to thrive once again. So, how exactly does Brodifacoum work? When ingested, it interferes with the body's ability to recycle vitamin K, a crucial component for blood clotting. As a result, animals that consume Brodifacoum, whether rodents or humans, start to experience internal bleeding. In rodents, this bleeding leads to shock, loss of consciousness, and ultimately death. In humans, the symptoms are equally severe and can include weakness, headaches, nausea, coughing up blood, and pain from internal hemorrhages. The primary antidote is vitamin K, but it must be administered quickly to prevent irreversible damage. Now let's turn our attention to potassium cyanide, another substance known for its lethal properties. This poison resembles ordinary granulated sugar, but its effects are far from ordinary. In fact, it's one of the most deadly poisons known to man. You may recognize the name from the 2023 movie Oppenheimer, where theoretical physicist Robert Oppenheimer allegedly attempted to poison his professor with it. Although it's unclear if this incident really happened, the fact remains: potassium cyanide is not to be taken lightly. In the early 20th century, this poison was commonly available in pharmacies and was often used by criminals due to its almond-like smell and its almost instantaneous effects. Famously, the conspirators who tried to assassinate Grigory Rasputin, the mystic and confidant of Tsar Nicholas II of Russia, attempted to use this poison against him, but for reasons still debated, the attempt failed. Potassium cyanide was also responsible for one of the worst cases of elephant poaching in history. In 2013, 81 elephants in Zimbabwe's Hwange National Park were poisoned when poachers laced their drinking water with the toxin. The result was devastating, and the elephants weren't the only casualties. Other, smaller animals and predators that fed on their carcasses also died. Cyanide poisoning works by depriving cells of oxygen, effectively causing the body to suffocate from within. Even a tiny amount of potassium cyanide, around 1.7 milligrams per kilogram of body weight, can be fatal. Once ingested, the effects are quick and brutal, leading to death within minutes. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the deadly world of Brodifacoum and potassium cyanide. These substances, while fascinating in their uses and effects, remind us of the dangerous power of chemicals when misused. If you enjoyed this content or learned something new, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more interesting and informative videos. This is just a part of a much larger video. You can watch the full video by checking out the first comment or description box below. Stay curious, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.